Our dog, Walt, his love language is touch. And he just wants to keep on touching and petting and licking and loving. Right, Walt? Until Sherry gives him a big old hug, and then he takes off because he gets scared. But yeah, he's different. Now back to the woods every fall and through the winter and now into the spring like it is today. We got firewood burning in our wood boiler, which is a central boiler. Love it, and that heats our house. And so this just about a month ago, we got everything in the shed hooked up to where it's always been hooked up. It has been hooked up for several years. The lab music has been having insulation. Now we got insulation. Hey, and it's wonderful. But I got a couple more wood. So that's what we're doing. And the old Polaris Ranger got me a load there. All right, today the weather is changed for us. It's rather cold, and here we have our 6048 central boiler. Been good for us. It is Sherry and I chose to heat our house with that. It's cheapest option we have. So it's a central boiler classic. It is a CL 6048. The next size bigger is a pallet burner. So it's not a real big fire today, but anyways, it's staying hopping. 180 degrees. This is how you can chain it. This particular boiler, here's the pump to the shed, here's the pump to the house. This particular boiler is multi-purpose. You can actually up here you can do different fuels. You could pump it in. I never did hook it up, but I thought when I was buying it I might. You could put corn in it, or you do a bunch of things. So there's where you would put that stuff in. It takes a beating, it has, but I like it. Had a few things. I have a blower for the draft. It has a solenoid in there, and sometimes that solenoid will go out, usually when it's freezing. Pumps on the side will usually go out when it's freezing, so I'm trying to get a maintenance plan together where I take care of that stuff ahead of time. I think this year, I'm in that ballpark. So. Okay, I got two saws. Got this saw new last year, MS 311, and this one was my go-to prior to that for many years. MS 260. There you go. Had some trouble with this one last couple of years, and just really can't hold up to hour upon hour of cutting, and so went and got this. Quite a bit heavier. It is heavy. You've held it, but they are good saws. Been good for us. Been very good for us, and I would recommend them. Now, what I found works best for me is I used to carry a 2-gallon gas can. Most of these are 1 gallons. It's just as simple, just as light. Carry a 1 gallon. This is me. Carry a 1 gallon. These go in it real easy, and then there's no guesswork. Now, I just got this one, and I have yet to label it, but it needs to be labeled on there. So this is mixed gas only for the chainsaw or weed eaters or the leaf blower. But that's what I do. I don't think I'm alone that these things stink. They're just a pain. It takes forever. So Lane's coming over today. My nephew, school to work program. He was working with Grandpa, Dad, but Grandpa is in the hospital. So he's going to work with us for a little while until Grandpa gets out of there. And Lila, she'll be finishing her school to work stuff, and so we'll get together and get back here and get some firewood. And then that way, you see it? Right. I'm not a weatherman. So the shop is heated by wood too, and so Lane was in there yesterday working on the equipment, and it's chilly if you can't have it turned up. So this is some tops that are cut back behind from next door land owner, and he lets us come, and we're going to chew on this oak today and see if we can get some wood kind of caught up. And there's Lane, he's going to help. And so we're going to do this without getting ourselves hurt. All right, so there's the load on the Ranger. That's load one. Maybe took us 20 minutes. So there's one down. However, as I told my son-in-law the other day, firewood and burning wood for heat does have a cost to it, and it's usually in labor, time, that type of thing, and going and getting the firewood. Now, as everything on a farm seems to be, farm, ranch, you know, you've got wood trees down and you need to deal with those, and that's a good way to get rid of that waste, right? Okay, so makes sense, right? But you got to remember there's a time that you have to do it and get out here. And so today, actually, it's sunny. It is cold, but at least it's sunny. Now, for us, firewood, you know, I take the Ranger out and I cut it and bring it back. We've been fortunate, a neighbor has cut timber, and they allow us to go get the cut tops, the top of the trees after the log has been taken. So it's really close to home. It's been wonderful. One of the hard parts about cutting tops is, see how it's all intermingled? There's a tree in there that's broke off, and a person has to really be cautious about what they're doing. It's right there. So, and that's a hickory, little hickory under there. It can pop up on you. So you got to be cautious. It's been wonderful. Been very fortunate the last couple of years to get that. Now here's the problem. The problem is time. For me, time. So if I'm caught up and I've got a lot of firewood caught up and I've got some in the barn, then it's not a big deal. Like you miss a week or something and you don't cut your load for that week, no problem. Problem gets in to be, I wasn't ahead. Fall was pretty ornery in terms of a lot of number of things, but health number one. And then now we have some additional health issues with a family member, and so it adds up, right? And you all are very similar into that, probably in in things that you're doing. So now you play catch up. I remember when we first put this in, 06 or so, that very first, I was cutting firewood in the rain. That ain't fun. Now, being in the woods when it's snowing and you're out of the wind and you're cutting it, oh, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. It is wonderful. It's also a pretty decent way to stay fit to some degree. So overall, I like that. But so if you're thinking of putting in a wood boiler, or if you want a fireplace, fireplace usually takes more heat out of the house than it puts in. But if you're thinking about a wood boiler, be kind of like with anything, like turkeys or cattle or farming or crops, or think it over pretty good, because it is going to take some time, and have backup plans. What I really need to do is have a backup supply of firewood, kind of like a savings account. There's where I need to get.
Like and subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Ask your questions so we can all learn together. Come and grow with us.